The Ukrainian army is updating its offensive and defense positions on the front line according to the movements of the Russians on the front line and behind the front line. Ukrainian reconnaissance teams monitor the movements of Russian troops with the operations they organize and move their defense positions accordingly. The narrowing of the Russian movement area on the front line allows the Ukrainian army to move more easily. The Ukrainian army continues its offensive and defense operations in this region by strengthening the defense blocks in and around Avdiivka. The intensive offensive launched by the Russians in October in the direction of Avdiivka still continues in 2024, but Ukraine's defense operations are progressing quite successfully. Some parts of Avdiivka have become a graveyard full of Russian equipment. The Ukrainian army has destroyed many Russian tanks here. The Ukrainian army continues to be a nightmare for Russian tanks with unmanned aerial vehicles and long-range missiles. Russian losses continue in the Tavriia direction. The Ukrainian army is destroying heavy Russian armored vehicles in this direction. The Russian army lost 10 tanks and 14 armored personnel carriers in the Tavriia direction in the past day. The Russians lost exactly 12 tanks across the front line. The number of tanks lost by the Russians continues to increase day by day. We anticipate that the superiority of the Ukrainian army over the Russian tanks will increase even more with the delivery of F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. Since the beginning of the war, the Russian army has lost 6,002 tanks against the Ukrainian army. The fact that the Russian army has a large tank production capacity does not mean that these losses are insignificant for Russia. The large number of tanks lost by the Russian army is very disturbing for the Kremlin. What do you think about Ukraine's ongoing operations and the tanks lost by the Russians?